What do we do? Well, first of all, we take seriously who the writer is. Who is the author of this book? Who is John? We know an awful lot about John, by the way. I'll talk about that in a minute. Who's the author? We try to take seriously, as much as we can reconstruct it, the life situation. Who's Mark writing to? Who are his audience? Okay? Who's Luke writing to? So we take the author seriously, we take the life situation seriously, and we ask what is unique. And this is, to me, one of the most fun things about studying the Gospels. What is unique about John? Well, that's easy, right? 92% unique. Did you know that? 92% unique. 92% of John isn't in Matthew, Mark, or Luke. If it was 30%, we could say, well, maybe he's trying to be, different, or maybe not. But 92%, we know that in his mind, he's thinking, well, I'm going to tell them. They've read Matthew, Mark, and Luke. I'm going to tell them, sort of the rest of the story. So we look at what's unique. And it's interesting to me that there are things that Mark is interested in that Matthew could not care less about. And I think God, sovereignly chose these four individuals to write these Gospels. And part of his choosing involved their backgrounds, the way they thought. I mean, Luke, we know Luke is a doctor. What would you expect from a doctor writing a Gospel? We'll look at that. My dad was a doctor. I know exactly how doctors think. And you see it all through Luke. You see the way doctors think. Who's the author? What was the life situation? What's unique? And finally, we take those facts, what we can gather, and we always ask, what does it mean? That's what you got to learn to do. We are not stamp collectors, right? We don't collect facts about the Bible and then just let it rest. We got to always stop and say, what does that mean? What does it mean that John was in Ephesus when he wrote his gospel? What does that mean? What would you expect from someone writing to people in Ephesus? Mark is writing to men and women in Rome after the fire. What would you expect someone to say to a group of people that are the first group of Christians that are experiencing persecution? What would you expect? And if you learn to ask really good questions, that's what we got to do. We got to ask better questions, and that happens when we engage with our imaginations.